All right. Meanwhile, Iran is ramping up its attack on several Gulf nations by widening its strikes against energy facilities. So this comes after Israel struck a major gas field in Iran as a conflict in the Middle East perhaps enters a new phase. So Trey Yanks is live in Tel Aviv. Some controversy about this, Trey. Yeah, Dana, good morning. Absolutely. As Operation Epic Fury is now well into week 3, there is a renewed focus on the targeting of energy infrastructure in the region. We have some video of the South Pars gas field yesterday that was hit with Israeli strikes. This is a field that connects also to a Qatari field in the Strait of Hormuz, and you can see this smoke rising from the horizon there in southern Iran. In response, the Iranians targeted the Ras Laffan gas field in Qatar. This is the world's largest producer of liquefied natural gas, a significant escalation, and drew condemnation from a variety of Gulf countries. The Qataris, just about 11 hours ago, released a statement saying the civil defense has fully contained 2 out of 3 fires in the Ras Laffan industrial area with no injuries reported. Cooling and securing operations at the sites are ongoing, while the explosives group of the Internal Security Force is carrying out its tasks in handling any hazardous elements. Now, President Trump overnight took to Truth Social, speaking directly about the Israeli strikes that drew this retaliation. He said in part, quote, Israel, out of anger for what has taken place in the Middle East, has violently lashed out at a major facility known as South Pars gas field in Iran. Now, Israeli officials are pushing back against that characterization, but earlier today, the Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, spoke about the U.S. efforts to try and reduce the pressure on global energy markets. Iranians had been pushing out. That would have all gone to China. In essence, we will be using the Iranian barrels against the Iranians to keep the price down for the next 10 or 14 days as we continue this campaign. So we have lots of levers. We've got plenty more that we can do. The largest coordinated SPR release in history, 400 million barrels, was approved last week, and some countries are going to do more. The focus on the Gulf comes as the Iranians continue to launch new ballistic missile attacks against Israel. Since midnight, there have been 8 separate ballistic missile barrages toward this country. In the West Bank, 4 Palestinian women were killed at a salon. They were there amid this incoming fire at a different location in central Israel. 1 foreign worker was killed, and these cluster munitions are still wreaking havoc on the population below. A top spokesperson for the Israeli military saying this about the defensive capabilities. We have air defense systems. I can already say they are among the best in the world. This is proven. Unfortunately, the defense is not airtight. We use our systems to intercept these missiles. These cluster missiles are a war crime. If this terrorist regime targets them at population centers, there is no difference from a regular missile except for its dispersion. Earlier this week, shrapnel from an Iranian ballistic missile landed just feet from the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. Israeli police tell Fox News all of the holy sites in Jerusalem will remain closed for the time being. Bill, Dana? Trey, thank you. We'll be back in touch, no doubt. So Rebecca Heinrichs now has an Institute. Rebecca, welcome back here. Saturday will be 3 weeks. Where are we today, Rebecca? Well, I think the Secretary Hegseth was actually right. I don't think it's hyperbole to say that we are winning decisively militarily. And you can see us again moving into the second phase of the war, where we are going now after infrastructure so that the Iranians can't rebuild. But the other thing we're now seeing is this other line of effort where you saw Secretary Bessent talking about stabilizing energy markets. So although the United States is defeating the Iranians with the Israelis, defeating the Iranians militarily, we now have to convince the Iranians that they have lost. And that means there's going to be a battle over who controls oil markets, and can the Iranians continue to hold the global energy markets at risk? And that's why you're going to see this other line of effort, getting allies on side to help the United States quickly, as soon as possible, open the strait. I want to show you here this map of the South Pars area, okay? So this is what Trey was just talking about. And then there was an additional piece to President Trump's Truth Social that I want to read to you. He said no more attacks will be made by Israel pertaining to this extremely important and valuable South Pars field unless Iran unwisely decides to attack a very innocent, in this case Qatar, in which instance the U.S. will, with or without the help or consent of Israel, will massively blow up the entirety of the South Pars gas field. I wanted to get your take on that overall, but also, is this one of those situations that could potentially drive some daylight in between the United States and Israel. So to answer the second question, because it's really important, no, I don't think so. I think that the United States is working very hand in glove with the Israelis about targeting, and so I suspect this is one of those instances in which the United States knew the Israelis would do this actually, but we were not participating in it. It was a limited strike, and it's meant to do what I said in the last time I just spoke, which is it's military coercion over energy markets. So United States and Israel are saying we don't want to destroy your ability to produce oil and gas. And in this particular field, Dana, is really important because it provides 70 to 80% of energy to the Iranian people. And our war is not with the Iranian people. But we want to say to the regime, we have the ability to do this. We don't want to do it. But by the way, the Iranians have been attacking oil and gas infrastructure against the Saudis, the Qataris, the Emiratis. And so this is not the first time, but it is the Israelis responding, saying, look, we can do this too. You don't want to play this game. Rebecca, give us a bit of a forecast here. It's my sense that we, work in the store yourself. Viewers at home, they wake up every day and say, what's happening today and where is it going tomorrow? How do you best address tomorrow? So I think that first of all, to keep in perspective, we're only in 3 weeks into this war. I mean, wars it would still, if it was a year-long war, that would still be a very short war in terms of the length and duration that these things can go. I don't think it's going to be that. I still believe that it's going to be short. But we want to make sure that we win the peace on terms that are good for the American people. We are already dramatically safer than we were 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago before this war started, but we really do need to get our allies on side. President Trump has used a lot of vinegar in diplomacy with our allies. We got to use some honey now because we do need them. It'd be great to have a coalition to help us open that straight. And by the way, Eastern Europe, the Baltic countries, small countries, they're the kings when it comes to minesweeping. They've got more capabilities than we do. So we need to get some allies on side to get this thing done. But I do believe the Iranians are on their back foot, and we're going to be in a better place, I think, in the coming months. All right, Rebecca, thank you. Love having you on the show. Good stuff. Thanks, Rebecca. One even more, Fox News on YouTube. Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.